We all know Reddit, the so-called front page of the internet, but some Reddit users have posted some very creepy things on the website. From disturbing videos of stalkers caught on doorbell cameras, from terrifying people who asked innocent questions and found out awful things, from seemingly innocent posts which turned out to be very, very dark. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to look at the scariest Reddit posts that will give you chills. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. Doorbell. We all know that security cameras are everywhere nowadays, and a new trend is getting smart home apps where their doorbell records everything that goes on in front of their door. But one Redditor named Fat and Depressed found something very creepy on his doorbell camera. He said in the middle of the night he kept getting notifications from his smart home app. It would say your doorbell detected a visitor, but this was at 3 in the morning. The image he posted will give you serious chills. As you can see, the doorbell camera caught a very creepy looking man staring into the camera. It seems like the guy may be wearing a mask, or maybe that's his bizarre face. This Redditor kept getting these notifications from 12 PM to 4 AM. At all of the other notifications, no one showed up on the footage. But on the 4 AM notification, this image came with it. This guy never actually pressed his doorbell. Instead, the doorbell captures images using a motion sensor. The Redditor went quiet for many days, prompting some to say maybe something bad happened to him. But he later posted saying, "For all of the comments regarding if I'm alive, yes I am." The visitor never returned, but thank you everyone who checked on a stranger's well-being. But that still leaves the mystery of who this guy was. Do you think he was a burglar, a crazy person, or someone planning something even more sinister? Watching you sleep. When you shut your eyes and go to bed, you don't know what's going on around you. For all you know, someone could be watching you sleep and you wouldn't even know. Well, from this Reddit post, we can learn that this nightmare is reality for some. A female Redditor named RedWantsBlue80 had downloaded a sleep app. She used an app named Sleep as Android to improve her sleep. One of the features is it records your sleep at night. This is to look out for things like snoring, sleep talk, and coughing. But one night at 2 AM, she caught something very weird. During the night, she heard herself say, "What are you doing?" And immediately after, a deep voice replied, "Nothing."
What are you doing? Okay.
She was seriously creeped out and had no idea who this voice was. Then in another recording, she heard the same voice say, "That's them."
That's them.
She says she does not remember any of this at night, and she said she had no idea who the deep voice belonged to. The only other person in her house was her 3-year-old son. Reddit detectives began downloading her audio and cleaning it up. They enhanced this audio and were able to find out some more things. They concluded that the voice was not her. It turned out that at night a man was going into her home and watching her sleep. After people cleared up the audio, they also heard people rummaging around her belongings. Thankfully, the woman soon moved houses and she no longer lives at the place where this happened. But it's still pretty creepy, and maybe we should all use apps like this to make sure we're not being watched as we sleep. Bad divorce. A few years back, a Redditor posted in the relationship advice subreddit. He said, "I'm a 30-year-old male having a hard time coping with my 29-year-old wife. That's because she cheated on me with my 51-year-old neighbor." He was asking for help divorcing his wife, but it's what happened after he posted this that's so scary. Upon declaring he wanted a divorce and was taking the kids, the wife took the life of his kids. The Indiana woman, Brandy Worley, took the life of her 7- and 3-year-old kids. She then called 911 herself, admitting the crime. In the 911 call, she admitted her motive was that her husband wanted a divorce and wanted to take her kids. Her husband, Jason Worley, was asleep downstairs when this happened. It's so sad that this man asked for advice after he was wronged in the first place. In his Reddit posts, he talks very lovingly of his kids, but sadly they are now just a memory in those posts. These relationship advice posts aren't only some of the creepiest things on Reddit, but also the saddest too. Me when I was 15. This one comes from the advice subreddit. A Redditor posted saying, "I opened an email and it's a video of me aged 15. It was from a fake email address and had no subject and no message. It was simply a 30-second video of me, aged 15, on my way home from school. In the video, it doesn't look like I'm being recorded because I don't look at the camera. There's no sound on the video for me to know what the context is. I only know when this was because of my hair color and length in the video. The video was taken about 3.5 years ago. How did this person suddenly find my email and send it to me? It makes me feel very uncomfortable. What can I do? It's more than likely that this girl was being stalked when she was 15. But how did her stalker find out her email address? And why did they send her this creepy video 3.5 years after recording it? One Reddit user replied saying, "I don't like the sound of this. You need to keep it to yourself and go to the police. For real." I totally agree, and I wish I could know what happened next. But sadly, the Reddit user soon after deleted her account. She never provided another update, so I hope she's okay. Maybe she found the situation so creepy and simply wanted to go to the cops. Poisoned. This is a very scary and recent Reddit post. A Reddit user named FurchoMax posted on the Animal ID subreddit. They said, "Anyone know what kind of octopus this is? Found in Kiana, Australia." And in their hand, they hold an octopus. You may say, what's so creepy about this? Instantly, other Redditors freaked out. They realized that the poster was holding a blue-ringed octopus. The blue-ringed octopus is one of the most poisonous in the world. They are known to take humans' lives, and quickly. Its venom is 1,000 times more powerful than cyanide. And one of these packs enough venom to take out 27 humans within minutes. The guy was a 21-year-old tourist from Colombia, so he didn't know about the local animals in the area. So far there haven't been any updates, but who knows if this guy's okay or not. The Landlord. This post comes from R. Bradbury 1920 and was in the legal advice subreddit. He was saying that around his apartment he kept finding post-it notes in handwriting that wasn't his. There were lots of reminders of him to do errands, but he never remembered writing them. He'd also told nobody about them. He found post-it notes all over the place, reminding him to do things. But he was sure he wasn't doing it, so he thought it may be a break-in. Eventually, he set up a motion capturing webcam in his apartment. Then one day he woke up and found a note saying, "Our landlord isn't letting me talk to you. It's important we do." He immediately checked his webcam's folder, but found nothing from the night before. His computer's recycling bin had also been emptied, which he was certain he did not do. This made him think maybe his landlord deleted the files and was writing these post-it notes. After all, he was the only other person with a key to his apartment. He said on the legal advice subreddit, "Do I have any legal recourse here? I have no proof except for the post-it notes. Should I consult the police or a lawyer?" So you may think this guy simply had a creepy landlord, but Redditors quickly replied saying they don't think he needs legal help. Instead, they said he may have a carbon monoxide leak. Carbon monoxide leaks are fairly common. They have no smell, so a lot of the time they're not detected. Eventually, they can poison you in your sleep, but before that, it makes you lose your memory. Redditor Kakalak suggested he get a cheap carbon monoxide detector. Sure enough, R. Bradbury said he was getting bad headaches and didn't remember anything. Sure enough, R. Bradbury 1920 said he was getting really bad headaches. He bought a carbon monoxide detector and found there was a leak. It turned out he was writing all of the post-it notes and deleting his trash in his computer. He was simply forgetting everything he was doing because of the carbon monoxide leak. It's pretty amazing that this Reddit post saved this guy's life. And if you guys are forgetting things a lot, maybe you should also check for a carbon monoxide leak. Mysterious men. One day a Reddit user said she was camping with her mom and younger brother. All of a sudden some men in trucks pulled up with lights and helmets on. They had no credentials and did not look official, but they said they were official campground inspectors. They began questioning her mother. The Redditor's mum was very shaken, so she decided to gather her things and get in her car. They grabbed only the essentials, got in and drove off. That night they stayed at a friend's house who lived in the area. The next morning they returned to the campground and found their things were messed with. There were boot prints leading to their tent and everything had been turned upside down. The Redditor Endia Banana wrote, "We never saw these guys again," but she says she dreads to think about what would have happened if they'd have stayed. Maybe they'd have been robbed, or worse, by these creepy men. Some say the men were government agents covering something up in the local area. Or maybe they were just creepy criminals, but we'll never know. Chilling confession. This is one of the scariest confessions made online ever. The Reddit post was titled, "Wanted for the Kitchener Murder, My Side." The Redditor who made the post claimed to be the person who took the life of 22-year-old Melinda Vassilage. He wrote a confession saying he was the person who took Melinda's life. Police evaluated the post and traced it back to Aga Hassan, Melinda's boyfriend. The post says that the couple broke up following an argument. The post claims Melinda asked Hassan if he'd been with anyone else since her. She then apparently grabbed a knife in rage. Then apparently the poster named ResAsBlue101, who was Hassan, took the knife and used it on her in self-defense. This turned out to be the case, and Hassan was convicted. It's creepy he made this confession on Reddit. He wanted to get his side of the story out, but it didn't hold up in court. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Vote in the poll in the top right corner which was the creepiest Reddit post on this list. If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. But as always, thanks for watching. There's some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.